It all started a few weeks ago. I was looking for ways to earn some extra money, so I decided to make some videos on TikTok. There was a problem though. First, I am a near 40-year-old mother of 3 kids, and we know the algorithm doesn't favor unpretty people. Second, I wasn't thrilled about other moms and friends and family members possibly finding my account. I'd definitely get roasted for it during the holidays. So I made a persona. That is, I did several questionable things. I bought a long black wig. My usual hair is short and light brown. I wore completely different makeup, and I used a filter. And I called myself Catherine, dissimilar enough from my real name, Casey. The result was a beautiful woman who looked like she was in her early 30s and only vaguely resembled me. I started off by posting skits about working in retail, since that's what I'd done before having kids. Then I transitioned to unboxing type videos that I also posted on YouTube Shorts. At first, the videos sort of flubbed, but then I got a few to go viral. I wasn't some big household name or anything, but it was enough to make a few hundred extra bucks a month. Things were looking up. Everything started spiraling the week after Thanksgiving. I noticed a comment on one of my videos. "Ha," it read, "I'm from Ohio too." I froze. Did I say that in the video? I was always very careful to not let any personal details slip despite the persona. I rewatched the video. I watched as Catherine pulled a Labubu out of a box. It took a while to get all the way here to Ohio, she/I said with a little chuckle. I froze. Oh shit, I actually did say that. I rewound and replayed that part, again and again. I really didn't remember saying that. As I watched it, I noticed something else too. The video almost seemed to glitch for the tiniest moment before I said it. My face froze and jumped, like the video was spliced. A terrible idea swirled in my head. TikTok isn't like adding AI clips to videos, is it? It sounded insane, but I remembered one of my friends telling me a few weeks back about her Facebook ads she was running. There were so many AI features that added extra stuff to her images and descriptions. It was like a full-time job turning every single AI setting off. Was TikTok doing the same thing? I must have just let it slip, I thought. Nothing else to it. But then it kept happening. On a video where I unboxed some lotion, a comment saying, "There's no way you're 42. I watched the video and sure enough, Catherine/I stretched my lips into a broad, toothy smile and said, "It does wonders for my 42-year-old skin." I know I didn't say that. I mean, who even says 42-year-old skin? That was such a weird phrase, it almost felt like an AI had spit it out. Sure enough, when I rewatched the video, there was that odd glitch again. My face froze for a split second, then jerked upwards before I delivered the line. Even if it's AI, how would it know I live in Ohio? How would it know I'm 42? The internet knows everything about you, a little voice in the back of my head whispered. Oh yeah, it knows you like dark chocolate caramel and cold brew coffee. It knows your circulation's shit because it keeps giving you ads for socks and slippers. It knows you're a night owl and you like bird watching and... I slammed my phone on the desk. Next time I made a video, I would look at every option with a fine-tooth comb, making sure I did not in any way enable an AI thing. But of course, the video I posted the next day had the same thing, and it was worse, so much worse than the other two. It's got my initials, see? As I pulled out a keychain with my initials on it, KSB. As the filter shifted ever so slightly on my face, she smiled and said, "K for Casey." I said Casey, No, no. I was sure I said Catherine because I remember almost saying Casey and then catching myself saying Catherine. There's no way. I quit, stopped uploading videos, stopped opening the app. My earnings quickly dropped without new content, but I didn't care. This was creepy. I knew I said Catherine. There's no way I said Casey. Was there? The next morning, I woke up to a notification on my phone. Not from TikTok or YouTube, from our Ring camera. Someone had been in our front yard at 3:24 a.m. I pulled up the video, confused, probably just a bug or animal or something. But as I watched, all the blood drained from my face. Just beyond our porch stairs stood a figure. Their outline was blurry and pixelated since they were halfway in the dark, and they were standing facing away from the porch. But they looked like they had long, dark, slightly wavy hair, just like my wig. The woman stood there for 2 full seconds before slowly walking back into the darkness. "Who is that?" my husband asked, not seeming to make the connection. "I don't know. Who would be out that late?" "He thinks Karen gets up at like 4, doesn't she?" Referring to the older woman across the street who'd been a competitive swimmer in a different lifetime. "Yeah, but her hair isn't that long." I swallowed. "Doesn't it sort of look like, well, the wig I wear when I do the videos?" He glanced over at me. "A lot of women have hair like that." I swallowed. "Do you think we should tell the police?" "She isn't really doing anything. Maybe let's talk to the neighbors and see if anyone else caught her." I would have called the police, but we lived in a townhouse development. There were about 30 houses within 100 feet of us, counting the ones across the street. The woman was standing technically in our front yard, but that's only about 10 feet from the sidewalk. It could be any of our neighbors or anyone visiting them, not someone particularly targeting us. Their hair did match the wig, but my husband didn't think it was an issue, so I decided it wasn't either. I kept an eye on the Ring camera for the next few days, but nothing happened. No weird visits, no strange women skulking around outside, so I wrote it off as a one-off thing. On a whim, I checked my TikTok page to check the stats on my videos and see if I was accumulating any residual views for this month's income. As the page loaded, my blood turned to ice. There was a new video, a video I didn't upload. The thumbnail was different than the other videos. It was dark, and she appeared to be outside. My stomach plummeted. Hands shaking, I opened the video. She was standing in the dark, in front of a row of townhouses, in front of my house. Her filter-smooth face was barely visible in the low light. Her right half of it was completely black, completely in shadow. Her dark hair swayed loosely in the wind. She looked down at the camera, her one lit eye glittering in the street lamp. She smiled, and then the video ended. It looped like that several times before I reacted and closed out of the app. I stared at the phone, shaking in my hands. Fuck. Someone was stalking me. Someone was using the same filters and wig to look like my persona. But they knew where I lived, and they knew it was me, and they fucking hacked my account. I called the police. I told them everything. I showed them the videos, every single one. Part of me expected the video of her, me, in the dark to be gone by the time the police came, but it was still there. I hadn't imagined it. The police searched the neighborhood, made a report, promised to talk to neighbors, told me to keep my doors locked, to call them at the first sign of trouble. But without the woman right there to track down, it wasn't easy. It would take days to find out who hacked my account, even if they could get TikTok to comply. So I packed us up and we drove to my mom's. We'd stay there for the next few days until we had an update. I knew that whole TikTok thing was a bad idea, my husband said after the kids had gone to bed. I know. I'm sorry.
This is bad, really bad. He hung his face in his hands. Did you delete the account at least? Not yet. Do it now. But the police might need it to see who. Delete it. I logged in and deleted the account. Thankfully, there were no new videos, just that same one of her standing outside the street lamp. I finally got in bed around 2 a.m., but I still couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning, wondering when we could go back home, what this woman's deal was. I finally gave up on sleep and walked out into the kitchen to get a snack. As I walked towards the refrigerator, something caught my eye outside. No, there was a figure standing at the tree line behind my mom's house. Pale skin, long, dark hair, standing absolutely still, like a mannequin, just barely visible in the shadows. I flicked off the lights and reached for my phone, but I'd left it upstairs. I looked down, patting my pockets. Motion caught my eye. I froze.
She was standing only 10 feet from the door now, and she looked exactly like my persona, down to the filters, but in real life. Eyes that were slightly too big, skin that was poreless and smooth, pouty, perfect lips. But she still carried an uncanny resemblance to me. My pointed chin, my heart-shaped face, my tall stature and long legs. I finally ran up the stairs, got my phone, and called the police. And again, they didn't find anything, despite combing every inch of the property. It's been 2 weeks, and I haven't seen her since. My husband assumes the crazy stalker lost interest, but I know better. Because when I looked at myself in the mirror last night, I saw several strands of jet black hair growing from my scalp, and I wonder if she's waiting to replace me when no one will know the difference.